welcome to or welcome back to my channel. Long time no see yet again. I really struggle with getting into a routine of work and filming some videos, but I still really enjoy it, so I want to still continue on with them, even if it is very sporadically that I put something out. But today we are going to do a November TBR picked by my TBR jar, which I love so much. There are a lot of books I want to get to in November. I feel like the last 3 months of the year, it's always, for me anyway, like scrambling to get to all the books that you hoped to have gotten to in the year. So there are a lot that I want to get through, but we'll just see if I'm able to get through the ones that I really want to with the TBR jar. And as always, I am a mood reader, so if I actually stick to these, who knows, it's probably very unlikely that I will. So without further ado, let's go. I think we'll do 5 or 6. I think that's a good number to do. So prompt number 1, a book with a blue cover. I don't even know if you can see that. Book with a blue cover. I'm also trying to think of ones that are on the list that I wanted to read. Oh, here we go. Next to You by Hannah Bonham Young. I read Next of Kin earlier on this year and I really enjoyed it, and I want to at least finish this duology this year, and this is a very blue cover, so this actually works out really well. So this is the second in the duology and I think follows one of our main characters' best friends from Next of Kin. But it's a romance. It's going to be a nice one to fly through, hopefully, and also if there's any fantasy on here, nice one to break up the fantasy. So that's actually really fun. I'm happy with that. Next of Kin for a book with a blue cover. Okay, second prompt. I feel like there's so many in here that I've never had, and I just keep getting the same ones. So let's hope this one is one I've not had before. A book with a 5+ word title. Oh, I don't think that's any of the ones that I wanted to try and get on. A bit of a rogue pick from me. I think I only have like 3 books that I could have chosen for this, but I'm going to go with The God of the Woods by Liz Moore. This was doing its rounds this time last year and I've heard amazing things about this. And I got this for my birthday and I think I've only read 1 book that I got in that birthday haul, so I need to make some progress on that. But this one really intrigues me. So this is about a family, the Van Laar's family, whose son went missing, and then 14 years later their daughter goes missing in the exact same place. And I think it's like a literary mystery thriller. I'm really intrigued by this, 1 because of all the reviews, and 2 because there's an episode of Criminal Minds where something similar happened. So years ago there's a disappearance of these 2 children that was never resolved. They weren't found, and then years later with the Criminal Minds, the BAU are called out to a disappearance of 2 or 3 kids again in the exact same place. So this is reminding me of that episode of Criminal Minds, and I love Criminal Minds. So interesting. Not one I was expecting to put on the TBR this month, but exciting nonetheless. Okay, third prompt is going to be, they all get stuck together. Let's go for this one. I kid you not, I think these are so far all ones that I've had before, and when I'm digging around, I'm getting the feeling, oh, we've not had this one before. This one is a book with a black cover. I don't want to read anything that's got a black cover. Is this black or blue? I feel like this is more blue. I don't think I can get away with this. I'm so silly. I was being so silly. Mate by Ali Hazelwood. This is predominantly a black cover with green accents, so this one definitely counts. This is the sequel to Bride by Ali Hazelwood, which I read and loved last year. I have been so excited to read this, but I'm really bad at reading new releases when they come in, so I've not yet got into it, but this is one of the ones that I was hoping to read this month in November. So yay, that counts. I'm happy with that. And this is a werewolf, vampire, paranormal-ish, I think. Is that what it's called? Paranormal romance? And I can't wait to get to this one actually. I'm very excited. Okay, that's 3. And so far 2 of them are ones that I wanted to try to get on the TBR. So I wasn't adding an insane amount. Okay, prompt number 4. I think I'm going to do 6 because this is fun. Let's go for this one, which is a book from your favourite genre. Okay. I would say fantasy is my favourite genre. It's definitely my go-to. I feel like when I'm in the mood to, I can read from a range of genres. Other than thrillers, I'm not the biggest thriller murder mystery person. But I would guess probably fantasy would be, I say guess, it's myself. I would say fantasy is probably my favourite genre. So I've got 2 options for this one. So the first one, which is just straight up fantasy, One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. I've been wanting to read this for ages. What's really annoying is I actually got the Fairy edition of this when I was with the YA subscription box, and I'd had it for a while and I was like, I don't think I'm ever going to read it. And then lo and behold, I got rid of it and wanted to read it again. So here we are. My sister and one of my good friends, Jess, on Bookstagram, both absolutely love this book and this duology and have been telling me to read it this month, and I've not gotten round to it. So this is actually a good contender for November. But then I've got Someone You Can Build a Nest In, which is a cozy fantasy horror. And I do love a bit of horror as well. And this is one that I wanted to try and put on. And I should have read this last year. I did get an arc of it. And The Life of a Mood Reader, I don't read books when they're meant to be read. So I've got a lot of catching up to do with my arcs actually. I'm trying to get a lot of them done before the end of the year. So I'm going to go with this one because it's one that I should have read already. It's got fantasy and horror in there, which I love. and it's on the list for November in my head anyway. And then if I have time, I can get to One Dark Window. So that's 4. So we've got 2 left to go. So prompt number 5, give them a mix up. Let's go this one, which is spell your name from the cover. Interesting, I've not had this one before. Spell my name from the cover, Faye. Okay, this could take some time. Okay. It didn't take long at all. So it says from the cover, so I've gone for Middle Game by Seanan Maguire, because on the hands it has some text on there, and it says, from the New York Times bestselling author of the award-winning book Every Heart a Doorway. So we've got F from A from Seanan, Y from every, and then E from basically any word on there. So that is my name, Faye. And this is a book that I was planning to read in December, but if I can read this in November, it will just give me a little bit of breathing room, because I have quite a really fun themed ish vlog planned to go in December, and having this on this month, I can carry it over to December if needed, but it just gives me the option to get ahead on that vlog. Last prompt is this one. Let's hope it's a good one. A book that includes a map. Okay. Probably a fantasy. My books that contain maps are severely lacking. From a quick glance, I can only find 2. So we've got Silver Elite by Danny Francis and The Dagger and the Flame by Catherine Doyle. Now, I'm tempted to go for this one because I want to know if I want to get the Fairy Loot sequel edition. Fairy Loot edition of the sequel is what I was meant to say. But something about this is tempting me. But she's big, over 500 pages. Do I have it in me? No, she's gonna wait. We are gonna go for The Dagger and the Flame by Catherine Doyle, which is a YA enemies to lovers fantasy romance, I believe. Yes, a fiery enemies to lovers romantasy. I saw Jodie from Vanilla Moon read this. I think it was last year. When did this come out? Yeah, it would have been last year. And she really enjoyed it. So I got my hands on a copy. So there we go. That's the final book on the TBR. We've got a really strange mix, I feel, of books on here. So let's just do a recap. Because I feel like this is a bit of an odd selection. So, book with a 5 or more word title, we've got The God of the Woods. Then a book with a map, we've got The Dagger and the Flame. A book that the cover spells out my name, we've got Middle Game by Seanan Maguire. A book with a blue cover, Next of Kin, No, Next to You by Hannah Bonham Young. A book with a black cover, Mate by Ali Hazelwood. And then a book from my favourite genre, we've got Someone You Can Build a Nest In, which is a cosy fantasy horror. There we go. That's the TBR for this month. She's interesting. I wasn't expecting some of these, but we've got 3 on there from my potential TBR, the list that I had, and then 3 rogue ones. But if you have made it through this far, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you potentially have coming back from my previous videos. I will try to post a bit more. I've got some really fun ideas of some vlogs that I want to do coming up, and hopefully we can keep the momentum going of posting semi-regularly. But yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you have had a wonderful October and will have an amazing reading month in November. And I will see you in whatever comes next. Bye!